I'm Jennifer Lee, founder and CEO of Entry Envy and Hammers and Flip Flops. These companies may seem on face value unrelated, but they're actually very closely correlated. Entry Envy is a custom home decor company. We create exterior signs with house numbers, last names, monograms. We have an interior version for assisted living facilities and apartments. And then we ship monthly and quarterly, faux floral, no water required, holiday and seasonal decor refill kits for all of the signs. Really, we deliver joy to women all over the country. The second company, Hammers and Flip Flops, is a derivative in a different way because I am super passionate about getting women into the trades. So Hammers and Flip Flops is a company that teaches women how to be comfortable with power tools, tackle their own home improvement projects. In Entry Envy, I am hiring women to drill, sand, paint, make all of these fabulous signs. The other half of the company is more manufacturing of faux floral. I have a group that is about 45 to 70. They like hot glue guns, they like floral tape, they like silk flowers, all of that. The group that is working on the signs themselves with the power tools per se are typically between the ages of 19 and 27. So it's two different groups. I love it. It is just an honor and a privilege to get to be able to hire women and teach them how to do things that they just naturally love to do. My dad was a carpenter my entire life, so I grew up before the days of cell phones. My mom worked at a steakhouse at night, so I would go to work with her. He would pick me up when he got off work around 4 o'clock or so, and then we would go to a side job, or we would maybe go back to our house. And it was always the question of, Jen, do you have any homework? I'm like, nope, it's done. Great. Here's what we're doing. And it was just helping. I scored the highest on the ASVAB test my junior year of high school of 150 students in my high school class, men and women, in the mechanical section and the construction section. And my guidance counselors are like, what? And I'm like, I just learned it through osmosis. I learned it by being around it. And I know that that is the same thing when we are having moms who are learning how to do these things through Hammers and Flip Flops. Their children will learn the same way. They're like, hey, if my mom hung up that by herself, I'm pretty sure I can figure this out. And I think it's so important. So the other way that I came up with, honestly, both of these companies was post a divorce in 2020. I bought a fixer-upper because it was COVID and the real estate market was crazy. And I started tackling this remodel inside and out. And from floor to ceiling, wall to wall, I did it all. And through that, I gained a ton of confidence of how do you actually tackle all these home improvement projects. My dad was a carpenter, so I had that background, but I had never done that extensive of work. And during that time period, there were hundreds of thousands of women out of work because of COVID that I knew could be helpful in this space. They were, but just had never been told they could, didn't know how to get involved. So while I was trying to come up with how do we get more women empowered with power tools in the trades in the middle of the night while I was remodeling, I was also trying to solve all of my own problems. And one of them was not being able to see my house numbers. So I came home every day to this outside of the house that looked old and it looked like a fixer-upper and you couldn't even see which house it was. You walk in the inside, it looked brand new. And I'm like, I got to fix the outside here. So I was out of time, money, and energy, and I decided to just like quick and easy fixes. Paint the garage door, paint the front door, update the front porch, change the light fixture on the front porch, and move the house numbers. And when I started Googling modern house number signs, let me tell you how boring that was. And the only one I found that I kind of liked had a little planter box on the bottom of it. And I was like, well, that's cute, but that's a pain. I'm not going to grow anything in that. I built the sign anyway, and then I went on this journey of filling it with faux materials and realizing what an inconvenience that was going to be every month to keep up with the holidays and the seasons. But I love the idea. And so I started Googling faux floral holiday and seasonal decor kits. and nothing existed. And so, that's typical founder. You solve your own problem and just decided to sell it. And then out of that, of course, came hammers and flip-flops later as a solution to be the first step of several to get more women in the trades. So I think that women love power tools for the same reason men do. They feel powerful when they use them. It is amazing and this great sense of accomplishment when you can do your own stuff, when you don't have to wait for somebody to hang up your curtain rod, or you're annoyed. You look at this ugly, wall or backsplash or floor or whatever. It drives you crazy every single day. And you're like, I wish I could. I wish I had that. And that wish list can become your done list if you can get the courage to be able to tackle the project. I always say that 50% of success in a home improvement project is the planning. You have to be ready before you get started. You have to have a plan, and the plan can change because once you start getting into remodeling, you never know what's behind the other side of the wall. But you need to feel empowered that you have the right tools, you have the right products, that you at least have a general outline, but you also need to feel supported. And what Hammers and Flip-Flops does is provide a framework with how-to videos, not 25 different men telling you 25 different ways to do something. These are all of the ways that I've done it. I'd say there might be 25 other ways to do it, but let me show you how I tackled this step by step. Here is your supply list that you can just simply add to your cart and check out. We do weekly lives of how-to tutorials, how to plan a project, how to budget for a project, and then we have a coaching center with pros in the DIY world that you can hire for $50 for 30 minutes as a member of our community and say, I can't decide what color of white paint to put in my kitchen, or I don't know how to tackle this backsplash project and whether I should do glass or ceramic tile, or how do I, what do I use for my grout? Do I do the pre-mixed or do I do it myself? And that is the one-on-one assistance. And it's kind of like that help button. If you get into a project, you get to something on the other side of a wall that you weren't expecting, to say, hold on. And really, we're targeting the women. 50% of women do not have a handy brother, dad, spouse, someone to be able to help them do this. And they might live on the other side of the country. They might be divorced. They might be widowed. They may never have been married, grew up without a handy husband or dad around. And this is just that way to be like, listen, ladies, you can do this. And we're going to give you the tools and the confidence. And I've done it myself. You can too. So Hammers and Flip-Flops is a closed community. We only open up our doors a few times a year. So the next opportunity is going to be October 1st, and anyone who's interested in getting more information about this and not missing that can just go to hammersandflipflops.com, sign up for the wait list, and watch for more information.